It's unexplainable. It's unconditional. It's unforgettable. Unstoppable. Unpredictable. It's so invitable. Indescribable.
Hello, and welcome to his
and her perspective.
And here at His and Her Perspective, we find common ground to harmonize relationships. And we do that by having the conversations like we're going to have today. And, so that people can have some really good relationships. And as my co-host, Coach Vaughn says, make what?
Make Black love great again.
Yes, love it. So listen, today we're going to talk about, is the high value man or woman, is it overrated? Because you're hearing a lot of things about this. This is pretty trending right now. And we're going to talk about that, what is happening in that area, because, man, it's crazy. But before we do that, let's go into what we always do and talk about the couples that are winning. And let me pull that up really quickly while my handsome co-host will go ahead and start discussing that with y'all.
Yeah, and we might want to give them a minute or two to fall in. Maybe they because we did start a little bit late, so maybe we lost a little bit of traction because we started a little bit late, but nevertheless, we can get it started.
All right, we can do that. So let me get this done.
Yeah, so Facebook don't really let you do watch parties no more. Well, I guess they do. I don't know. They tripping. I know that.
They are tripping. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and get started with the info on the couple of the week.
You want to just chat around for a minute? Let's see who's here. We'll come back to that in a moment.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So we got who we got over here. We see y'all up here, but y'all ain't saying nothing.
I don't see nobody.
As we always say, if you're looking at us right now, just go ahead and type in the comment section who you are. We'll see your name. Sometimes some people change their name. So type in who you are and where you're tapping into so that we can say hello. Your mother always told you, if you walk in the room and you see some people there, speak so that we can speak back to you. Also, how was your week this week, brother?
Pretty good. No complaints, man. I watched that new movie. Man, what is it about? With Muhammad Ali.
With
Brown,
the
Sam Cooke, and Malcolm X.
Yeah. How was it?
It was decent, sanitized like we expect.
Okay.
Very heavily sanitized, but entertaining.
Yeah. Well, we expect that.
Yeah.
That's really to be expected here. So
how was your week?
It was good. Very productive. Very busy, very productive. This week is going to be much more busy. So I'm looking forward to it. See what the Lord going to bring me this week.
No doubt.
I'm looking for Christmas this week.
Looking for Christmas? I might need to come your way then.
Hey, man, you gotta find Christmas, birthdays, whatever is gonna get you some gifts.
Yeah. I can use some gifts right about now.
Right. So I guess people gonna fall in. We 5 minutes in. Let's go ahead and get moving. Man, how we were only like a couple of minutes late. How we lose some folk?
Man, I don't know.
They had no faith in us.
That just go to show you, boy. You study long, study wrong.
I swear.
As my mama used to say. Still,
right. So let's go ahead on with this couple that is winning.
Okay, here we go. Now it's letting me do a watch party. Maybe you can try.
And see I'll try to.
See if that let us
Let's try. Let's see what's happening over here. See if they're gonna let us be great today.
You know,
I mean, all we trying to do is talk to the folk.
all this good work we come to do,
Man,
trying to stop our flow.
just trying to stop the stuff. They like, I mean, stop it. All up in our Kool-Aids. Let's see here.
I've been kind of binge watching that show, Married at First Sight.
Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah, and I would like to talk about it with the family if we can get them in
Get
here.
them on here, huh?
Yeah.
Let me share to a couple of groups too. Let me see.
Man,
What do you think?
I'm still on the first season though. I didn't know it's been out that long, since 2014.
Yeah, it's been out there a long time.
Man, that's enough TV to keep me going for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's been out there for a long time. And it's funny because I can binge watch a whole show in a week.
Yeah. I can't watch that. That's 6 seasons.
Yeah.
All right, I see we got some people falling in the room. So when y'all come in, shout your city out. Say what's up to me and my lovely co-host.
Yes. Hello, y'all. Hello.
Yeah.
How y'all doing over there? Let us know. Let us know. Hello. There we go. Those are numbers coming on up. How y'all doing? How are y'all doing? I love it. Come on in. Hello, Yardley.
Faithful Mr. Yardley, my man. Good to see you, brother.
Yes, good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. We had some technical difficulties, so it kind of made people think we wasn't coming or something. But we're here. We are not going every Sunday, and if we're not here, we're going to announce it long before we start the show.
Right.
That we're not going to be here. So other than that, just be easy, as they say, because we're on our way. So thank you so much, Yardley, for joining us. So let's go on back. Let's get this on here with our couple that is winning.
So our couple for this week is Mr. and Mrs. Anthony and Cynthia Cherry. They live, well, I guess I don't need to necessarily say where they live, but they've been married 20 years. They have 7 children and 2 grandchildren.
Love it.
And one thing I like about them, I have a pilot for a TV show that I'm doing with brother Anthony Cherry.
Love it.
And one thing I like about them is that they embody what it means to be each other's support system. All couples go through what we go through, right? We all have our challenges, our adversity, and they're no different from any other couple that's winning, right? We all experience some manner of adversity. And what I love about them is that they truly embody what it means to be each other's support system. So shout out to Reverend Brother Dr. Anthony Cherry and his lovely wife, Cynthia.
I love it. Congratulations, Anthony and Cynthia. I'd love to be able to put you all out there on Front Street, talk about how good your love is.
You did.
Beautiful. Love
There's
it.
Blue Jackson, shout out, peace, beast, bruh, and coach.
What's up, I'm trying to get back to the banner. I'm freezing on there we go. Hey, how you doing? So listen, today we're going to talk about, is a high value man or woman overrated? This is a trend that's kind of going around right now, and it's really fairly new, brother. This has only been out since 2018, or the term, I should say, right?
Well, the term, from what I understand, the term has actually been around for quite a while, but it's just now becoming repopularized.
Okay, because high quality man and high quality.
Yeah.
More. Yeah. Well, I couldn't find anything past that. Everything I was looking at as far as articles and stuff like that. So I stand corrected, though. I don't have no problem with that. So listen, we want to talk about, is this overrated? But we want to show you a video, which is why we started talking about this. So let me pull that up really quickly. You got anybody on your other page that's sitting there waiting for us to say something to them while I'm pulling this up?
All I see is the good brother, Dr. Yardley.
Cool. All right, let me just me pull this up.
Off to a little bit of a slow start today, but we in here. We in here. Sometimes
Yeah,
it be like that.
sometimes it is, but don't give up on us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on a second. Let me go and share my screen again. Share screen, share audio, Chrome tab, 22-year-old. Here we go. All right, family.
I wanted to know what needs to be done to, I guess, attract a high value man, per se.
Right.
Because I feel like that's where I want my life to be in the futuristic terms, but I'm willing to do what it takes to get one.
Okay, you're in college?
I went to medical school.
Did you graduate from college?
Yeah, I went to NYU. I did a certificate program, and I'm a surgical technologist or whatever.
Did you get a BA or BS?
No, it's like
all right. So you didn't graduate from college?
No, but I got a certificate in the program that I did.
Okay, so when you say you're going to medical school,
I'm going back for nursing.
All right. So why do you need a high value? Why do you need a high value man?
Because like I feel like I've dated like the average guys, and I feel like they don't treat me the way I need to be treated.
What do you mean?
Per se. A lot of the guys that I've like dated in the past, they were I would say like thuggish, kind of in a way.
And lady, a high value man is not a get out of jail free card, and it's not a meal ticket. A high value man is a job, a hard job. The hardest job you'll ever have in your life is to be the wife of a high value man. It's not a life of luxury. It's not a, ooh, buy me a BMW and I just get up in the morning, or you go off to work and I just sit in the house all day and watch TV. That ain't it. You're up at 5 o'clock in the morning, going to the gym, working out, making sure that by the time you get back home and the kids are up, you got the kids' breakfast ready, kids ready out of the door, your husband's stuff ready to make sure when he goes off to what he has to do, to make sure that when everybody else leaves, that you get the house straight, get the meal prep, get everything done, to make sure when the kids get back home, the homework gets done, to make sure when I come through the door, that the meal is ready, the kids are ready to go, and all the money and shit that we're working to earn, you are doing all this other stuff. You get, and by the way, you got to stay in shape and all this other stuff to make sure that I ain't doing nothing for the kids. You got to get the kids all ready to go. Parent-teacher conferences, homework, everything else. I just look over it from an executive position and say, great. Then you get the kids ready, go on, and so forth, blah, blah, and then you serve your husband. Wash, rinse, repeat the rest of your life. It's not a life of luxury.
Do you believe that not an independent woman, but a woman that has stuff herself could keep a high value man? Because I feel like sometimes no. Yeah.
I value men don't want independent women. You young ladies think this is like a fantasy.
Not per se, but I know like when I know I'm still young and stuff, and I have like a lot of stuff ahead of me. But like even dating guys, when I tell them, that I'm a surgical technician for right now, and I still want to like do more stuff and go back to school.
Where's your father?
He's in the medical field. He's a surgical tech too. So I kind of like.
You raised with your mother and your father?
Yeah, I was raised with both of them.
Is your father helping you vet and sort through men? No. You don't involve your father in your romantic life.
I try to, but he's so he's more high demanding than me. Like
exactly, because he knows what's out here. You need to listen to him instead of guys you don't know on Instagram.
Ooh. Okay.
You don't know me.
I don't, but I see you
you have a father. Listen to your father.
Okay.
Do you not think he loves you?
I mean, we have a complicated relationship.
Do you think he loves you? That's not what I asked you. I don't care if you like him. I said, do you think he loves you?
Yeah.
Did he put a roof over your head?
Yes.
Food in your stomach?
Yes.
Make sure you got out of high school, right?
Yep.
You got any babies?
Nope.
Good. You sound like you did a damn job. Respect him. Stop worrying about a high value man. Go get a regular guy like your dad. Sounds like that's what you need so I can do this job. Bye-bye.
So, yeah. That's the first time I liked Kevin Samuels.
Your boy is straight to the point, ain't he? He's direct.
I mean, seriously, as soon as he hit that nail and she said, well, we have a complicated relationship. That's why you're looking for this high valued male, which is really just simply put a good guy. So why are these labels? Because this is the thing. Like Kevin Samuels says that a high valued male has to be making $10,000 or more a month. If you're making anything less than that, you're not considered a high value male, no matter how good you are. What do you think about that, brother?
So this criteria, apparently this criteria has been around for quite some time. And something to the tune of making at least $100,000 a year. And you have to have sustained that for at least 3 to 5 years. Then there's the third criteria is group acceptance by other high value men. And then there's number 4 would be something like a network of other high value men. Visibility, meaning that your job position and your income are measurable by average people. And then utility, meaning that you're useful to the group or to a group or a group of others. So there's several bullet points. I think I named about 5 or 6 different bullet points. It's not just the money, because according to this criteria, you can make $100,000 a year and yet still not be a quote unquote high value man, right? Because the other criteria has to be met according to this particular standard. So I think a lot of women are, I mean, they get starry-eyed because, yeah, the brother can buy you a BMW or whatever, and you can get the latest bags, and there's money in that. If a man is making $100,000 a year, he can get you a lot. If he's making more than that, then of course you're gonna have much more than the average woman, especially if you're talking globally, right?
But my thought process is, where did that criteria come in at? Because I couldn't find that.
Here's the other part to that. What a lot of times, a lot of women are overlooking. What I like that Kevin Samuels just pointed out in that little clip is that it's actually a job to be supportive of a high value man. You don't just get to spend money and kick it and go talk with your girls and shop. And no, it's actually work, because high value men are very demanding. And so, and I think that's the part that's lost on a lot of women, that they think that many women think that it's just they have a fantasy about what it is. But I like how he broke down what it actually means to a lot of high value men.
Okay, so again, where does this criteria list it?
Well, I heard him,
because I haven't. I mean, I guess the only place I've heard those bullet points is Kevin Samuels. So is he the one who's determining who a high value male is, and where are the other high value males that are determining this? Because based off of my research, and I looked at probably about 30 different articles, and I didn't see nothing that had to do with money. It was more of the self-care, his emotional intelligence, making sure he knows his purpose, has high self-esteem, generates his own self-esteem, very assertive, knows the power dynamics. He's honest in his own value system. He has growth mindset. He takes responsibility. Where's money in it? Because then that means it's not a lot of high-valued men in this world.
Well, that's precisely the point. Because if everybody could qualify so easily just by knowing a few things here and there, then there would be no need for such a criteria or for such a category. This is the reason why you only have a very small group of women, for instance, who qualify as dimes or 10. If everybody qualified as a 10, then there would be no need for a ranking system. So,
well, I mean, I get that whole thing, but I'm just trying to figure out. I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, usually you have this system in place that tells you where this criteria comes from, and there has not been anything on that I've seen in the internet that's saying where this has come from. So then I guess what I'm saying is, it's like, if there is no, and when I say where it comes from, because I come from the academic background, my master's degree is in education. So when education, when you say something happened, you better have some journals, some statistics, some surveys, some polls, some studies saying this. Where is this coming from?
right. And so if you talk to other high value men, it's really not something that you might necessarily find that type of measurement system, but more of a brotherhood amongst high value men. And so if you talk to high value men, you'll get a very general sense of their values aligning with what Kevin Samuels is pointing out. So you might not be able to go onto the internet, because on the internet, look, we live in a world now where they're handing out eighth place trophies, right? Everybody wins in today's world. And we know that that's just simply not realistic.
Right. I get that.
So when you mingle amongst other men other men of that ilk, who share that ideology, you'll find that that's a common mindset, these different measurables, these different tangibles that they have. So again, if you go on the internet, then they tell you everybody wins. So you just stand in line and you get your trophy just for showing up. But
you can find the 5%ers. Heard those? You can find those. You can find a list of who they are. You can find out, like, you can't find the insides of what their whole club is, because there's a whole 5%er club, but you can't find out how to get in there, different things, the secrets of it, right? But they will tell you their creed and all of that type of stuff if you look hard enough. I just feel like this is something made up by the people that want to push themselves away from the average Joe. And so, because my thing is this, it's a job having a man. I don't care how much value he got. It is a job making sure, let me hold on. If you're doing it right, it's going to be a job to make sure that you're securing your man and making sure that you are doing what's necessary as a woman. And if you're working and all those things. So if this whole high value male thing is if she's a housewife and all he wants is her to do these things, then, but does it have anything to do with how much money you making? Because I guess what I'm saying is, I don't know how this label came upon it, when that all of those things, except for the money, because a man who makes 100,000 or less can have influence, probably more influence. A man that's making less than $100,000 can be kind to this woman. A man that's making less than $100,000 can also then take care of everything else that's in there. Want his woman to be attractive to him. Wants his kids to be taken care of. Want to come into a clean house. All of those things, they just...
What you're doing is you're going by how you feel, right? But consider this for a second. Name the list of men that the women flock to, migrate to, and then ask yourself, why are they gravitating toward these men? It ain't got nothing to do with how kind he is, because we know that nice guys often finish last, right? So yeah, and you'll also find that some of the most attractive men to women happen to be some of the biggest jerks. Well, why are they attracted to him? Why are they flocking to him? Why are so many women gravitating toward men who... Some men, of course, I'm not saying all.
Right, because I was about to say, because some of these rappers getting these women flocking, and they ain't nowhere near high value, just because they making money.
Again, money, that just goes to show you that money, or at least the perception that you have money, is a big part of it. Because otherwise, they wouldn't gravitate to. You know how it is. Shiny things attract the creatures that like the shiny things, or at least the energy that's required to accumulate those shiny things. Women are not just flocking to nice guys. We know that. We know better than that. This is why you get so many good guys who get friend zoned. So we know that it's not just about being nice or treating a woman nice.
Right. I'm not saying what I'm okay. So maybe I'm not saying it correctly. I am not in any way, shape, or form saying that a woman is not going to flock to a dude if she got the wrong purpose in mind, that got a whole bunch of money. Right. I'm talking about, I am just simply talking about, why is this label there? Because you can have all of these things, but why does it have this? I guess I'm
because
fighting.
Men are competitive. Because men are competitive. Men have always been competitive, and the best of men will always be competitive. And we look for ways to separate ourselves from those who are less competitive or less accomplished than we are. It's just the way that it goes. And we don't even have to look for ways to separate ourselves. It happens naturally. There's a natural separation because you're going to be able to do things and go places and have things that the average men can't have, can't do, can't accumulate. They can't go there. They can't do the things that you can do. And so what that also brings is a natural attraction or gravitation by some of the most desirable women. They flock to you. And so you can't then turn around and say, well, then money doesn't matter. Of course it matters. Of course it matters.
And it doesn't.
Yeah, and it matters. It matters a lot too, because this is why a man can pull up in a BMW 7 Series, and all of a sudden, no matter what he looked like, he's the most handsome guy there. Ooh, girl, he got like Les Brown said, ooh, girl, he got earlobes like Denzel.
Lord have mercy. but see, when in at my 50-year-old mind, okay, and my what I would think higher level thinking, okay, I think that women flock that do that are not of a mature, a place where they are secure in themselves mindset. So my thought,
they're not looking for mature women. They're not looking for 50.
And they're not looking for high value women which is what she believes. And many of the women that Kevin Samuels talked to, they think that they're high value women, and they're not looking for high value women.
But see, now high value is determined by who's attracted to you, who's coming for you. So the way women might judge other women, oh, girl, you cute, girl, you pretty, girl, you look so nice in that. Women are much softer on their critique of other women than men are. So a woman might tell her friend that she's a 10, whereas a man might come along and be like 6.
If you're a real friend and your friend a 6, you're gonna tell her she a 6.
I'm saying that you know as well as I do that.
I mean, y'all, the balances aren't weighed.
It's not about balance. Life ain't fair.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I'm agreeing with you, brother.
Okay,
how we balance or how we rate is totally different. I get that. I'm just saying
you have to. It's based on who the product is. Who is the consumer of the product? That's how you determine what the value is. So who is the end consumer of women? Men are.
Okay.
So men are going to be the ones who determine what the high value women is. Just like on the other hand, who is the end consumer of men? Women are. And women will tell you who the high value men are by who they gravitate towards.
Or who they don't. Because I just feel like, so look, I found this on one of these sites with the high value men, right? He said their level up role model, Sierra, got passed around by multiple rappers, NBA players, and bad boys in her youth. She settled down with a square, church-going, high-value male only after becoming a single mom in her 30s. How long do you think the gangster rappers waited to get vetted?
I mean, again, they had something that she was attracted to. Whatever that might have been. Again, the end consumer for that product is who it is. And she got smart and said, wait a minute, these bad boys ain't the way to go. Not only are they not the way to go, but half of them fronting anyway. They renting these cars, they're renting this jewelry. They really aren't high value men because they're and they don't have the type of career longevity that's sustainable. So they might be hot today, but a year from now, 2 years from now, they're not anymore. Whereas this NFL quarterback, Russell Wilson, he's probably going to make tens of millions of dollars, if not hundreds of millions of dollars throughout the duration of his career. So she just so happened to be what most men might consider a 10. Let's call it a 10. I don't even want to throw the word high value on her. She's lovely, very easy to look at, very pleasant to look at. She's a cut above what most women look like. And so the average guy is going to look at her and be like, damn, I like that. And then on top of that, when he walks in with her on his arm, she's a head turner. She's the stank face. Right? Ooh, right?
No, you did.
Ooh, brother's looking at her like, ooh, she's fine.
Oh, God, right? I can't. That's like some of these comments, man. I can't fight what people say. I'm just giving my IMO, and I feel some kind of way about these labels because I think that what it does is it further separates. Because I guess I'm not for anything that's divisive divisive. I'm not for things that are divisive. And so anything and I understand that there's levels to different things. But when you start breaking that down and I don't see white women talking about, I don't even want a high value man. She just goes and takes care of her, does what she needs to do for her, and then she will attract who she is.
That sounds good in theory, but I don't think you know what? Some people hit the genetic lottery.
Well, right?
And so let's just stay with Sierra for a minute, since that's what you just mentioned. She hit the genetic lottery. Chances are she could be as selective as any woman you've ever met. She could go out here and be like, no, not him. No, not him. No, not him. And she could probably do that to 1,000 guys before she says, yeah, him. Every woman can't do that.
They say beautiful women crazy.
Yeah, you know what? We all a little bit crazy. So, but my point is still,
but they get a pass because they cute.
Look, men will tolerate a little bit more from women when they're beautiful, just like women will tolerate more from a man when he's rich, or if he's well endowed, or we have these different criteria that we use to measure how much we'll tolerate from one another. Is it fair? Whatever. Life ain't fair.
I ain't talking about the fairness of it, because I know that life is not fair, and so you can't talk fair. I guess what I'm talking is the sense of it, right? Because guess what? When Kevin Samuels is older at his 52-year-old self, for one thing, dating women that are his daughter's age is disgusting. That's the first thing. Secondly, when you much older and that little girl starts to grow up and realize that all her friends, whether he got money and he taking care of her or not, and she's starting to look at her life, there's going to be some problems somewhere in there.
Well, but listen, men who are accomplished on that level, or even on my level, I'm sure he makes more money than I do, but even on my level, like, I'm not the smartest cat in the world. So, but I come with an understanding that there are trade-offs. And at the end of the day, if you eat a bowl of Haagen-Dazs every night, the trade-off is you're probably going to gain a little bit of weight. You already know that, but you want what you want, right? So men who fit into this criteria, we understand the trade-offs, but we want what we want. Just like women who are like Sierra. She knows that her man is probably going to work 80 hours a week. He's studying, he's in the gym working out, he's doing whatever he's doing. He's got a super busy schedule. The trade-off is he's got $100 million contract. You know what? She's going to take that, but she wouldn't tolerate that same 80-hour schedule from a guy working at Dollar General.
No, but she not gonna tolerate. Perfect example, Beyonce and Jay-Z. Okay. He cheated the heck out of her, and it wasn't once or twice, and then put his hands on her, and the whole entertainment industry has tricked us, and we're falling into it. It has tricked us, and we're falling more into it by, I want me a high value man because I make $100,000 a year. Girl, go get you an average dude. Go get you average Joe. Yeah, he can make 100,000, 150,000, 200,000 and still be average Joe. That's going to be kind to you and love you and do right by you. Because when you get, again, the square off is, if you got a high value man, quote unquote, and he think because he got so much money, he can do all these things whenever he want to, do whoever he want to, whenever he want to, then you're going to be sitting there in the corner with your thumb in your mouth crying because you trying to figure out why you can't keep him, because he got options even when he gets you.
Look, that just because you are a high value man or you're a dime piece as a woman, that's not an excuse for you to misbehave, for you to have
really?
No, but what it does, though,
is it that he can do whatever he wants to.
Listen, Kevin Samuels is who Kevin Samuels is. I don't have anything bad to say about that man. Whatever he ends up doing or getting in life, then he get it how he live. What I'm saying is though, that in my mind, it's not an excuse or a pass for you to, not conduct yourself with integrity. Right now, but what it does do though, is it builds a higher tolerance for those who want to be around you. It builds a higher tolerance for them to deal with your misconduct in many cases. So, and the same thing, I mean, look, I've seen gorgeous women who some brothers act like they lose their mind for them. They wouldn't act like that over no ugly girl. I'm sorry, a woman who's perceived as ugly. Pardon me, right?
But again, what does all of that have to do with how much money? Because all of that can still be with the dude that's making 75 G's.
No. Women don't jump through hoops like that for no. Look, you can't tell me.
What you mean? They doing it now.
Listen. I'm saying that there is levels to this, right? So to some women, $75,000 is balling, right? But there are women who will look at a brother who's making $75,000 like, you need to get your weight up, right?
Well, yeah, if you're making 150.
No, even if she's not, she could just have the mindset that, she ain't tolerating no dude that make less than 6 figures because she's Sierra. Sierra, as cute as she is, she ain't going for no average dude.
And they gonna do what Kevin Samuel says, die alone.
Maybe. And look, if your target as a woman, if your target is a high value man, then that means you have a higher chance of striking out and, growing old, without, well, I don't want to put it that way, but
I'm not a whole Kevin Samuels fan. And I have to admit that much of what he says is true. And even what you're saying is true. I'm just over here, don't like it. I'm just telling it like it is, right?
I don't like the price of ammunition right now, but if I want some ammunition, if I want bullets for my gun, I got to buy it. I got to pay.
Listen, coach, we got a coach. Coach, we got to coach the people.
Look, I'm just explaining. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. I'm not even putting a judgment on it. I'm just telling you what it is. We know that it is what it is. There is always going to be a group of people out here who will want what they want, even if it doesn't make sense. Do you have a better chance at happiness and a healthy, harmonious relationship going for the average Joe or the average Jill? Yeah, you do. But people want what they want. And so the most attractive women, the most feminine, the loveliest women have always garnered the most attention from men. Whereas you're a very average looking woman, at the end of the day, a guy might land on her. You know, look,
What?
look, there's a such thing as I forget the term for it. Somebody, one of you brothers help me out. When the club get ready to close and brothers start looking around like, oh damn, I guess I see what's left.
Oh God, I can't. You got to be kidding me.
Look, hey, that's not who they intended to go home with. But if they struck out and they still trying to, not be alone that night. I mean, look, it's the club closed at 2, about 1:30, 1:45. Brothers looking like, man, I ain't came up yet, so let me see what's left. And they start scouting the room, for these sixers and below, maybe even. And so that's just what it is.
This is why our job is so challenging. No wonder. See, I should have been having this meeting a long time ago.
Here's the other side to that. When we as men go through, the pains of becoming and forging ourselves into this high value man, right? And we're making 6 figures and more, and we haven't yet selected a woman that we want to be with. Now, the other side to that is you run a very high risk that the woman wants to be with you because of what you have, not because of who you are.
Right.
So again, these are trade-offs, because you find a lot of men who you're making $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 a year, and you out here talking about you just want somebody to love you for you. I just want somebody to love me for me. Well, you should have grabbed one from high school then, bro. Maybe even from your college sweetheart, because by the time you start making that kind of money, the chances of finding somebody who just wants you for you because you're a nice guy goes down considerably.
Those chances are good. They are out there. We're out here. We're out here.
They are out there, but the numbers are they are few.
Let's talk about what these folk talking about on here, because I'm just, I'm through with this, right? Yarley says, no, it is not. It's called pre-selection. A high-quality man is a man who has his sugar honey iced tea already made without the manipulation from women. He takes care of his business despite interruption from women. He knows what he wants from a woman and out of life. Kevin Samuels is correct. Oh, I don't dispute that the brother is really talking real wisdom. I just don't like his delivery. I think he's a jerk. But anyway, let's go down to some other stuff that Kevin Pierre says 8% of men in America are high value. I believe that. That's money is produced by singular mindset of his life's purpose. I like that, Yardley. Let's see. He says men don't make lists like women do. These qualities are attributes admired by other high value men. That's just okay. That just all Kevin Samuels is saying is that the men that he talks to who fit into his criteria for high value men are looking for certain qualities in a woman: fit, friendly, and feminine. But isn't every man looking for a woman who's fit, friendly, and feminine?
Yes, but not every man qualifies for the type of woman that he wants.
Okay, gotcha. You want to read some?
Yardley says, it is a job to have a woman. They are never satisfied with themselves or their men. Oof.
Don't say never, Yardley. We working on that. Soldier Boy, tell them to drop them bombs on they bombs. You know what? I came with Yardley. He be messing up.
Man.
Okay. Kevin says the label is there to separate the goat from the sheep. Let's see what we at. We got a lot of comments we've been missing.
You want to argue?
We have to make it. We got to spice up some stuff. We always in agreement.
Yeah.
Yarley says he is a monkey chimpanzee. She married and locked down Russell Wilson before it came into his mature manhood. She likes him, but she is not attracted to him. She could end up being like Scottie Pippen's wife, missing the bad boys and running the streets. He talking about Sierra.
And I know that that's the general consensus when it comes to her, but I don't know her, and so I don't want to pass judgment on her. But I will say that a guy like Russell Wilson, just given the history of the guys, if you check her credit and look at the guys that she was with before Russell Wilson, for her to end up with Russell Wilson would seem out of character for what she had initially been attracted to. But that doesn't mean that she couldn't have, gotten a little wiser to the game and was like, hey, bad boys ain't the way to go. I want somebody that's good, clean, and wholesome. Mm-hmm. And she might have, who knows? So could she end up being very attracted to him and appreciating him for, all these other attributes that, that aren't necessarily related to his money? She could. I mean, time will tell. We'll see.
Yeah, I think his
wife didn't know.
Yeah, I think a mature woman would be great with a man that's gonna treat her good if she's been through some stuff. Yali says, think about it. Someone cheated on Halle Berry and Beyonce. Show did and beat the heck out of Halle Berry. And Kevin Pierre says you can look at Halle Berry and tell she got issues. Go ahead, brother.
Jack says the truth is a lot of dope boys, rappers, and athletes have raised the expectations from the common woman onto the common man.
Yeah.
Boy, speak on it. Biological function. Yarley says biological function of a woman. Get the highest value man. Women don't date down, they date laterally or up. Security, get provisions.
Now, I won't say that because like I just did a poll. I always do polls on my page with people seeing how they think. And one of the things I said, would you date a man or would you be with a man that makes less money than you? And all of them said yes. So I think that it really depends on the stage that woman is in and where she actually has come from as far as relationships. If she's tired of the rigmarole in relationships, all of these things come into play, which is why I believe that Kevin Samuels wants to go for younger women because and he dogs older women out. Anybody over 40, he dogging them out.
That's not necessarily true. I've seen him have some pleasant conversations with older women too. It's just, it depends on the energy too. So depending on the energy during the exchange, if they're pleasant, then he tends to be more pleasant. If they, are talking over him or whatever, then he gets ornery pretty quick.
Yeah, and when I'm seeing that, I do agree with it because if you're an angry Black woman, you going into the stereotype of what that looks like, then that's what you're gonna get. I was listening to this this podcast and it was talking about communication being like our food, and that the things that we take in, negative things, toxic things that we take in, that's what we're feeding our bodies that. And if you feed that, you're going to eventually die out. And so I was like, wow, that was pretty dope. But we have to understand that we really attract that which we are. If you're healthy in your mind, you're healthy in your body, you healthy in every area of your life, you're going to attract that. And if you toxic, you angry, you bitter, you got a problem because the last man did you in, or you got a problem because your family, or you got daddy and mommy issues, you're going to attract those like-minded people. And then you have questions to yourself like, why do I keep attracting the same kind of guy? If you've ever asked yourself that and you didn't go get coaching or therapy, then you need to go back and rethink some things because you need to do something about it. You're not attracting the same type of guy or girl, you're attracting you.
It could also be said that you continue to attract the same type of people when you haven't yet healed from what it is that attracts them to you. So, I don't know. I mean, I do understand the law of attraction, and on some level it does resonate with me. But on other levels, I do think that you can attract all types of people, but I think who you allow to stay is a better reflection of who you are rather than who you attract. Because I've had all kinds of women approach me, and it is what it is, right? I mean, I have who I have. And so I will even go so far as to say that she was better than me when we got married. I think just from an integrity standpoint, just being a good person, knowing where she was going, knowing what she wanted in life, I think that I don't think that she attracted what she was. She allowed me. I mean, she just I don't know. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't think she attracted who she was when I think she just, the smooth taste fooled her. I snuck up on her.
Okay, with you. Okay, so let me ask you this, because I believe that how we act is not always who our core is. So our reacting to something doesn't necessarily tell who we are. I think that it's a mistake to believe that the core of who you are, she couldn't see that. She saw that. You just didn't notice it until a little bit later, right? So do you kind of think that it was not so much of you not being that in the core, but you just haven't caught up with it, because typically women are more mature than men? You were just ratchet. You're like, I plead the fifth.
Look, I had a lot of developing to do. I had a lot of growing. I had to develop into the man that I am today, and I'm far from perfect. I'm still, I'm still a flawed man, but suffice to say that I'm much better than I was when we got together. I got a comment from Kevin Allen. He restated the criteria for a high value man. I just read that, Kevin, earlier in the show. But then he says, on Kevin Samuel's show, it's nothing the average lady calling in. I guess nothing but the average lady calling in. Is women saying that they want a high value man only. Okay. They don't want an electrician, a physical therapist, occupational therapist, or any man making below six figures. That's not including the standard of looks. Some of these women have multiple kids, have been divorced multiple times, and all Kevin is saying is many don't qualify for a high value man. So why not get a regular guy? That's the gist of it.
Yeah, that is the gist. And that's why I say I don't disagree. I don't disagree with his message. I disagree with the method, because really a woman that is going to attract the high value man is not really going to be calling in the Kevin Samuel show asking how to attract him. She's taking care of her, and she's doing her. She's taking care of her body. She's got her own business, not business as in entrepreneurship, but she's got her own life. So those things are attracting her. See, when the woman is like, I heard one of the girls on his show says, well, can I go and find him? Is it okay for me to go chase him? You ain't gonna get a high value man or any kind of good man that you chasing. You're not. You're going to get the dude that's going to sit back and let you chase him, catch him, get what he wants, and he out.
Well, I do. I'm very traditional, and I've always been turned off by women who pursue me.
Yeah, it's not a good look. I've been there. It ain't a good look, ladies. It's ugly, right? You want to read?
Yeah, Kavan says over 40 equals no man's land. What Kevin Samuels is saying is that if you find yourself over 40 without a high value man, then your chances of getting one is significantly less. So go back to your baby daddy.
He did tell a girl that he says, what's wrong with your daughter's, your child's father?
Right.
What's wrong with? Oh, and then it was so funny because she had to eat her words, because she was like, well, he is a high value man. He's like, well, go back to him. Well, no, we can't do that. Well, then you want a high value man. You claim that you had a baby by one. So why you ain't going back to him? Yeah. It's really, so yeah.
Keep in mind that, we don't know who these people are that are calling in. And the truth of the matter is we have a lot of people who are emotionally unhealthy, mentally, psychologically unhealthy. And so many people are suffering from that. It's, the grass is greener on the other side phenomenon. And oftentimes people are winning and don't even realize that they're winning. And so they'll sell their car for gas money.
Yeah. Yep. And be sitting there looking like, what I do? Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Kimberly Snotty says, I think it's how you feel about yourself. And then Katina agreed with you. And Kavan said he was a blue Henry. I don't know what that means.
High earner, but not rich yet. That's Henry is an acronym. Blue collar, high earner, but not rich yet.
Huh. Okay. See, I'm learning some things. I'm gonna have to go. I used to be one of the homegirls that all the guys used to come and talk to me. I got clients and male clients, but they not telling me secrets like this. I need to get some of these acronyms and write them down. Coach here makes a good point. Men mature at a much slower rate than women, especially if they don't have a male figure in their lives teaching them how to become a man.
That part right there. I don't think that there's a natural progression. I don't think that men or males naturally progress slower than women. I think that women we have a community where the overwhelming majority of our households are led by single mothers.
Yeah.
And it's been said that women love their sons, but they raise their daughters. Right. They love their sons, but they raise their daughters. And so this stunts the development, this stunts the growth of males. But I think that if you offer a young male a rites of passage program and where he has certain benchmarks that let him know that he's on the right path toward manhood, and then you align him side by side with a young female who's doing the same thing, then I imagine that it'll probably be relatively close at the rate that they mature.
Right. And I really think that this is why it's very imperative, especially in our communities, where when we find ourselves as women and as men, where we have arrived to a mental state of mind where we figured some things out, you need to go back and reach back to some teenage young girls, some teenage boys, and grab them up and start to teach them, because I think it's really important. And I love the way we talked about the whole polygamy thing back with what's his name? What's the man's name?
Polite.
You said who?
Brother Polite.
No.
You had on the show.
The who was the Muhammad the Muslim man? What's his name?
He had a lot of wives.
Elijah Muhammad.
Oh, okay.
Right. Where he talks about how the reason why polygamy is in place is which is in the Bible. When you go and you take on that wife, that extra wife, if you will, just because you're going back to take care of what's in the community that's being left. So we're not going back and taking care of our communities. We're just looking at them going, see, look at him with his pants down. No, go over there and talk to the brother. Ask him, why is he wearing his pants like that? You ain't got to go and be like, pull up your pants. No, go and be like, hey, brother, what's going on? How you doing? And I get, that some of these dudes are hard-headed or whatever, or even with the girls, because, honey, a little girl, if she a little hard, she'll cuss you out. You go over and try to tell her to pull her dress down. But I guess what my whole thought process is, if you see that there are people that are wayward, instead of us, getting on social media and talking about them, or getting on Instagram and having videos or passing around these different videos, find that person and try to help them out. Because, like as many people as me and Coach Vaughn want to reach, we're not going to reach everybody, right? We're only going to have our hands in certain places. But if one person just reach one, we could do better. And we're just not doing that. We would rather have these conversations on Instagram and laugh at them, or get millions of views of people being humiliated, which is why I didn't like Kevin Samuels in the first place. But who reached out to the little girl and said, baby girl, let me give you a bit of advice. 1, 2, 3, whatever it is. Who did that? I'm sure nobody did.
Somebody should have.
Somebody should have, but people are not. Kavan says sometimes women who chase men can be a lot of. I came with you and Yardley. Y'all are a mess. You want to read that?
Yeah, Yardley says, great idea, but the feminists will say we are excluding women and need to include them, like they did the Boy Scouts. You know, when men, especially high profile scenarios where like My Brother's Keeper, when Barack Obama did My Brother's Keeper, the word was that he got an awful lot of pushback from feminist women. Like, what about us? And yeah, I think that any real movement towards the end of helping young men is going to be much more grassroots, and much less likely to come from higher levels like the president's office.
Yeah, but okay, so let me ask you this. If whether they get pushback or not, men stand up and don't care what these feminist women are doing if they're not helping the whole movement. It's like, I love when Coach Vaughn says that you got to be a friend to my marriage, not just a friend to me or her, but a friend to my marriage. If you're not a friend to the movement, then get out the way, shut up, and ignore those people. I mean, if we thought like that and really believed that, then Black Lives Matter would have stopped. Right? We wouldn't have people outside talking about Brianna and Trayvon and all these other people who lost their lives. So when will we stand up and do something that's going to benefit the future? Because they're not going anywhere. We're gonna take them all out with us when we die, or we just gonna keep that going. I just feel like that there's something wrong with that. But we rather put our energies towards the wrong things. And I think we don't do enough that's going to be beneficial to the future of what's it going. This I listened to I don't know where I heard this from, but I had, oh, that was me. I said that. Lord have mercy. I told one of my couples that I was doing premarital coaching. I said, if you want your daughter to be if you're struggling with your girlfriend not trusting you, having low self-esteem, having lack of confidence and all these things, and it's frustrating you, then you need to raise your daughter to have high confidence, build her up, strengthen her up so that she doesn't frustrate somebody else. So if you want a healthy minded female in your now, then make sure that you're raising healthy minded females. And the same thing for males. You want to put that out in the world, then you got to go back and do what you need to do to put your party in. Because again, I always say this, we're raising adults. We're not raising children. We're trying to raise them to be adults that are going to be effective and in their lives where they can be effective with other adults. And we need to just check that.
Yep. Agreed.
So Yarley says, good idea. You got to curse out the ghetto. Yeah, they'll cuss you out. These knucklehead girls. So let me say this. So this is some of the things that they talk about as far as becoming for those who are looking for those high valued males. Okay, they say that she must be attractive. She must have great personality, make sure that she doesn't take life too seriously, that he can take her everywhere. She has culture, basically, can converse with people from different backgrounds, that she's kind, that she can laugh, and she has emotional control. If you cannot control your emotions, nobody ain't gonna want you, not for long. Presence, how does he feel when he's around her? And so that those types of things, and this is why I kind of had my view, because I didn't see nothing about money. But okay, I ain't a part of the club. Ain't nobody invited me and told me nothing. So fine, you know, invite, tell me, Coach Michelle Monet, come on in here and then go teach some high value women how to be high value. Fine.
You know, what Kevin Pierre said, fit, fine, and friendly. That's one of the things that he said. And then the other one, that acronym, that FBI acronym.
Yes.
Feminine, beautiful, and inspirational.
Yeah.
And beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's subjective and all that good stuff. So, you know, a woman that's beautiful to me might not necessarily be beautiful to the next man. So as long as you're beautiful to the man that you attract, and then you're feminine and soft toward him, and then you're inspirational toward him. That's really primarily what we're looking for.
Yeah.
And a man who's more, I don't know, I do think that one area that I disagree with many of these lists is that I saw one list talking about high value women, and it divorced it, or it said that it basically had nothing to do with whether or not you were successful with a man. And even in the high value man criteria, you can be a high value man whether or not you're successfully relating with a woman. And so these ideas are being perpetuated that being at the apex of manhood has nothing to do with womanhood, and being at the apex of womanhood has nothing to do with manhood. And I that's where I disagree, because I think that if you think just from a biological standpoint, just foundational, right? Our very primal reason for even being here is to relate to the opposite sex.
Right.
And so I don't see, again, I'm always watching Animal Planet. It's where I go to get my best advice, my deepest insights. And I look at all of the alpha males, and they are always looking to relate to the feminine.
Yeah.
Always. So then this idea of being a high value man, regardless of how you relate to the female, yeah, you can earn a lot of money. You can check all those boxes that he talked about. But I think that if at the end of the day, if you fail to relate harmoniously with the opposite sex, that's a problem.
It is a problem. No matter how much high value you have, if you, I mean, like this one lady got on there and he hung up on her, but she was like, he said, "Are you married?" She said, "Are you?"
Right.
So like you can say all these things and say who doesn't deserve, but are you finding this? Because if there's 8% of men who are considered high value, how many percent of women are there to match that 8%?
Oh, you're gonna have an abundance of women to choose from.
No,
See,
but I'm saying to match the criteria of what they want. I mean, you got an abundance of women. I'm talking about the criteria that can hold that down, that can be at the gym, like he said, at 5:30 in the morning, that can get home after being in the gym for an hour looking good and go get her shower, get the kids, cook them breakfast, take care of him if he want to be taken care of that morning before he go to work, get them off to school, come home, make sure the house is clean, still do all these mindset things, make sure everything is done, get your food, the food done, get home, feed the kids, then take care of him at night, and then start the thing all over again. How
most
many
women can't do it. Most women can't do it, just like most men won't qualify.
Yeah.
The percentages are small for a reason.
Yeah, which
Look,
I think that most women won't do it.
yeah. The enjoyment of succeeding is so great only because so few are able to succeed.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the beauty that that type of separation offers. This is why, when you see people who are shining in their lives, or even if you take, like, I put up these couples in the spotlight every week. I spotlight these couples on purpose because they're shining, they are winning. And the reason that they look so good, the reason that the success tastes so sweet is because so few get to taste it.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't have the focus and the discipline to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we teach in our coaching, is teaching you discipline and how to focus so that you can reach your goals. And a lot of people are just not ready for it. They're not prepared for what it takes to do that, because that means you're gonna fail more times than you succeed.
Yeah.
But you got to be able to get through the failure parts of it in order to reap the benefits of the beauty of the success in it. And a lot of people just want the success. They want the microwave, like they're getting on these shows asking, well, how can I do this? Like quick, fast, in a hurry. Show me how to do it. What's the list? Okay, I'm hacking it. It's not a list that you can do to be a high value male, high value woman, that you can get there and then get there quick.
Look,
And I think that really what a lot of it is is that by the time he gets there and he gets to that place, he feels like I had to do so much to get here that now I do have the ability to say, yeah, nah, I don't want you, girl. I want that one over there.
And then too, you know, many of these guys, even though they've accumulated all of this success and all this money, many of them are still very socially awkward. They haven't found a way, or they haven't learned how to relate to women. These oftentimes are the guys that they were late bloomers. And so all throughout high school and even throughout college, they didn't have girlfriends. And so that they immersed themselves in their work into becoming the best financial version of themselves, and even purposeful version of themselves. But along the way, they didn't learn how to relate to women. And so even though you have the ability to attract these different women, these men, if they don't learn, then they don't have the ability to keep these women. So but here's the thing: better than 90% of all people on this planet, and let's just stick here in America, and particularly with Black people, better than 90% of us don't qualify for this this so-called high value lifestyle.
Right.
You will not get, if you're a woman, the chances of you getting a high value man are incredibly low. Yeah. And as a man, the chances of you being satisfied with these women who are walking around looking like dime pieces, the IG models and so on, the chances of you finding, a healthy relationship with one of them is incredibly low. Most of us just really need to find somebody who's in the average range somewhere. If and you be nice to me and I'll be nice to you. Find somebody you can get along with, somebody with good, strong character and integrity, and rock out with that, man. Yeah. And I think so often, I said this last week, they've been promoting this narrative that there's plenty of fish in the sea, right? They've been telling us for the longest, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Don't get serious so young, and we playing catch and release with people that are really keepers.
Yeah.
I know a sister who very, very average looking sister. And average is not bad, right? Calling somebody average is not an insult. That's where most people are, average. And so to me, she was a very, very average looking sister. And she had a dude that was crazy about her. Right? And this dude would do anything for her, but she hadn't gone through her phase yet. And so she had to get some of that out of her system. And she got caught up.
Yeah.
Brother walks in and she's, kicking it with another dude. And she ain't been right ever since. She hasn't been able to replace what she had in him since then. She's my age.
Wow.
You see? Wow. And so oftentimes, see, two things that she didn't do correctly. One, she failed to make an accurate self-assessment, right? She failed to make an accurate self-assessment, which means that she didn't rate herself as average. So that means she didn't realize just how fortunate she was to have what she found in that guy.
Yes.
She thought that there was it'll be plenty of opportunities, and so she threw him back. She was playing catch and release with somebody who was really a keeper.
Yeah.
And she ain't been able to find nothing like that since then. But I'm saying men do the same thing. We tend to trample on the feelings of women who would otherwise make really good wives. And then by the time we're ready to settle down, 35, 40, we like, all right, I got all that out of my system. Let me go on out here and get me a wife. It ain't that easy, because now you have to fish from among the same pool that you were throwing hurt fish back into.
Yes, that's good.
And so now you want an unscarred, unscathed 35-year-old woman, and it just don't work like that, because they've been hurt just like the same women that you've been hurting the whole time.
Right. And then so when he's ready and he encounters 2 or 3 of those, now all women play crazy. All women only want me for my money. All women. And so then by the time he gets to the second or third of them, he's now angry and is just gonna be old by himself too.
Yeah. Look, as quiet as it's kept, men are dying alone too.
Yeah.
Men are dying alone too. And these same women, we talking about, she got trust issues. And yeah, she has trust issues for the same reason that many of the women that you discarded 15, 20 years ago, or that you've been discarding for the past 10, 15 years, the same reason that they got trust issues.
Right. Right. And he ends up with the same trust issues because now he feels some kind of way. And you can tell by the thing that you can do when you meet somebody who has issues, talk to them for 5 minutes, count how many negative things they say. If in the first 5 minutes of the conversation that you're having with them, they not popping. I mean, especially when you first meet somebody, because you should be at your best foot forward. So if you negative for the first 5 minutes or you victimized, or you feel like the world is against you in the first 5 minutes, bye-bye, because they got real issues. And you can tell that. And a lot of people don't realize that. Like when you see things, it just drives me, like in a place where I'm seeing, when I have time to scroll on my Facebook feed, which I don't do often because I be wanting to just tell people, make an appointment, please make an appointment. Because they're just angry. So many people are just upset and angry. And why are you upset and angry? Because you allowed what you allowed. Leave your story at the door and stop telling it. Because if you're not using it for a testimony and overcoming that testimony, you have now become, as Ayanna Van Zandt says, an addict to your misery. And then you up here doing this every time you tell the story. You want somebody. Oh, I love what she said. You want somebody to keep supplying your demand. No.
You know what was funny too, though? Not funny. It's really unfortunate that so many people don't realize that they can actually have a much better relationship than what they do with the people that they're already with.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes our ideas are what's keeping us from being able to reach the levels of happiness or wholesomeness or just a healthy level within the relationship than we've already reached. For whatever the different reasons are. I mean, I've worked with so many couples, and I'm always thankful when I'm able to turn them on to what it is that they've been overlooking.
Yeah.
And I think for the most part, there's this line from the movie Why Did I Get Married with the karate brother. What's his name? Michael Jai White. Okay. And he was saying to his wife, he said, you women are so used to losing that you can't tell when you've won. And it ain't just the women. I flip that because a lot of too, same thing. So there are so many people who don't even recognize when they're winning.
Yeah.
And that alone, that failure to accurately self-assess, that failure to accurately assess the situation that we're in, our inability to accurately self-assess contributes to the rate of losing as much as anything else.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. I totally agree with you. I mean, one of the highest compliments that I've gotten with my clients is when this is on my site, when she talks about, she says, when I met Coach Michelle Monet, I was hoping that she was going to teach me how to change my husband. But she said, I am the one that got changed. And when I changed, my husband then came in. And we are now doing amazing. So we got to know that the only person that we really got control over is who we are. Fix yourself. And then whoever else is going to then be okay. So you got to be able to fix what you got. Love who you with, right? And loving who you with doesn't mean that you're going to love them out of their negativity. Sometimes you got to get some help, like with Coach Vaughn or myself. You got to find some ways if you don't know how to do it. If you've been in your relationship for 5 years, I say, if you've been in your relationship for over a year and you still got the same issues, now sometimes you got to work some things out. You need some help. And sometimes it's okay to get some help to say, hey, you know what, this ain't working. How do we get this? How do we squash this? How do we do that? Find some help, find a coach, find a therapist, find somebody that can help you rock those things out. Because if you don't, you're going to keep spiraling and this whole spinning going to keep going and you're just going to make things worse.
Yep. It's amazing how much better of a wife my wife became once I became a better husband.
See? Yeah.
I was ready to throw her back. I was ready to let her go. She was getting on my nerves. I was getting on her nerves.
Yeah.
And it's amazing the transformation that took place when I started getting better.
I love that story though, Vaughn. I love it when you talk about that because it just really shows women. And don't get me wrong, ladies. I'm not saying if he's abusive, Vaughn was not abusive to his wife. I'm not saying that if you some crazy stuff, but I'm saying that sometimes you got to take the high road, and that's exactly what his wife did. She took the high road and said, you know what? He acting a fool, but I'm gonna hold on a little bit longer. And then there was, some time when she had to look over and go, well, maybe not, But the whole thing is sometimes you got to endure some things to get through to the finish line, because don't give up so fast is my whole point. That's really what I'm saying. Yeah. Figure out where it's stemming from, because if you got a dude that his parents weren't together, he was raised by a single mother, he may not know how to be that way to you. Find out what that is and work with what you have.
Yep. I concur.
You want to read that?
Yardley says, I think the main problem between average Joes and high value individuals, I guess that's what that I stands for, is not being able to qualify to be with said individual. But there's hope. Just remember, the average Joes won the dodgeball championships. Look, man, I'm telling you, if I had to start all over again today, I think that people overlook the value in just finding somebody who's a good person. And look, you can't be good and ugly. You know what I'm saying? I deserve better than that. But average look, as long as I can find, some attraction, as long as we're attracted to each other, my main concern is, are you a woman of strong integrity and good character?
Yeah.
I can work with a whole lot outside of that. But if I can't get those two things out of you, if you ain't coming with those two intangibles, we really ain't got nothing to talk about. I don't care how nice your butt is. I don't care how that dress fits you. I got no use for you.
Right. And the same thing for women. You gotta find those things that are, like he said, that are intangibles, things that you cannot change. You're not going to be able to, and that's why I was talking about earlier about that, what's inside of you. You may have not, it may have took you a while to catch up to what your core was, but I just believe on the inside of who you were, which is why she attracted herself to you in the beginning, was that you was a cool dude. You just didn't figure it out until later.
No, I always knew I was cool.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I've been smooth a long time. But no,
y'all see how we work and why we're so good together, because he thinks he was the coolest thing since sliced bread, and I do too, right?
I just had some maturing to do. Really.
Yeah,
that's really what it came down to, and I'm still a work in progress. Hell, I ain't all the way there yet.
Go ahead. What do you think about this?
Shahrazad Ali says you can pop her in the mouth. What do you think about that? Well, I don't put my hands on my woman.
Yeah.
And my wife, my wife has a nice little fiery spirit, and she's not afraid to express herself and say what she thinks she need to say. And not in a nasty way, but I'm just saying she's not timid or shy about expressing herself. But I don't agree with that. Short answer, no. I don't think that. I think that if you have the type of woman that you need to pop in the mouth, you with the wrong woman.
No. I think if you think that you have to put your hands on a woman, then you're a weak man.
That too.
Because that means you have to control her in such a way that only you can do that. And so I don't care if the man weighs 100 pounds and that woman is 250. You're going to overpower her because of the strength that comes up on the inside of you when you get angry. So there should be no reason in the world. And I say this, I don't care. Once it gets to you people putting hands, y'all need to break up. I don't care if it's a woman. I think she's a weak woman if she's got to go around slapping on a man. You're weak, period, done. And I stand on that. I think that's something, and I don't apologize for feeling that way.
Look, when it comes to relating to each other, a man's strength in relating to his woman is not physical. Your strength, if you really want to, I'm gonna use the word control for lack of a better word. I'll even say it this way.
Control sounds good.
If you really want to manipulate your woman in a healthy way, manipulate, and I say manipulate her for the benefit of the relationship, not for self-serving purposes. Like I manipulate my wife, she manipulates me. But there's a such thing as healthy manipulation, constructive manipulation, and destructive manipulation. And I'm saying that if you really want to manipulate your woman and get her to do the things that you want to do, then it's here.
Yes.
Here,
yes.
Right? And it's the same thing with women. Man, my wife, with the right tone of voice and the touch on my little bald head,
that feminine quality.
Man, my wife can get me to do damn near anything. I mean, that's the battery in my back.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's the truth. It's like it's the same thing with women. We have been gifted. Women have been born with two gifts: the gift of persuasion and the gift of discernment. Okay. The problem is we use those gifts against us, and we be nosy, and then we want to be manipulative. Now, like Brother Vaughn said, there's a different way that you learn how. I don't like the word manipulation. I call it persuasion. You can learn how to use that to persuade, right? And his persuasion is his rubbing on his head and kissing on his neck or whatever, you know. And so you got to learn how to use your gifts. Men are strategic and logical. They know how to bring a situation down out of the emotional part of it. But if you don't know how to use that strength in that to make her go, when you get the right man, y'all hear this. If a man is strong in who he is, and his woman is acting up, and he look at her and go, all right now, it's gonna send something through her, and she gonna get okay, all right, fine. But if you think that you're gonna come in and over, but that's because she knows that she's safe, right? If she knows she's safe, you can check her, and it won't even cause a friction. But if she feels like she can't trust you, you're untrustworthy, she doesn't feel safe in the emotional part of the relationship, then every time you try to check her, she gonna buck because she feel like you coming for her. But make her feel safe, and then you can uprise that authority when it's necessary, because she's going to trust that it's coming from a good place and not from a place of control.
And you got to be with the right person too.
Yeah.
Because you can make the wrong person feel safe.
Yeah, that's true. Right?
It's some raggedy ass ratchet women out here, and you can make them feel safe, and they'll run off with all your jewels.
Yeah. Right? That's kind of like what Yarley says. Why do some women feel when they get angry, they put their hand? I told you they weak.
It's the wrong woman.
Yeah. Period.
If a woman's putting her hands on you, either she the wrong woman for you or you the wrong man for her. Right. One way or the other, you need to get the hell out of that relationship.
Back out. Because it's just going to ultimately get worse.
Yep. Yardley said, sad to say, I have heard women say a man has to handle her. I believe that you only handle children and animals. And look, you're talking about unhealthy, emotionally unhealthy, psychologically unhealthy women, right? If a man is putting his hands on a woman, smacking her around, choking her out, this is an emotionally unhealthy, psychologically unhealthy man with a very low emotional intelligence.
Right.
You know, right. Your power as a man, your power is in your ability to calm the storm in your woman.
Yes.
Yes. You know, look, we're not always going to be perfect at it. There are times where I'm not always as cool as I could be, but if I can catch myself, because I'm pretty passionate, I can be pretty fiery too. But there is a calmness in my voice. There's a bass in my voice that even when my woman is starting to elevate, if I stay here, then I'm able to bring her back here.
Yes.
But if she goes here and I go here, then the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
Men are the thermostat, women are the thermometer. If the thermostat is out of control, then the thermometer is broken. Think about that.
Nice.
So something happens to, like, if you in your car, you have an older model car, right? And the thermostat breaks, what's gonna happen? You're gonna have to go and check it out, get the radiator pulled apart, all these different things. You got to figure that thing out. It's gonna be running hot. It's just, you got to find out what your strengths are, and that power is within you first before you can start going out trying to get and be with anybody else. That's just really the bottom line to it all.
Yeah. Real rap. Yardley
Said,
okay.
Go ahead.
Kavan said, "You handle snakes, not people." That's a fact. And Yardley says, "So I can't send her on a 3-hour tour on the SS Minnow."
No, Yardley, gotta hold on to it.
Nah, I wouldn't advise it, brother.
Right. This is good. I just really say that we have to really work on ourselves more and figure out what it is who we are, so that we can start to really have healthy boundaries, healthy standards, and not based off of what we don't want, not fueled with our unwants and we are with this upside down rocket of what our desires are, and the fuel is up top, because we fueling out what we don't want. We so busy, I don't want this and I don't want that, and that makes me think I know what I do want. No, if you're living out of the negative part of it, you're going to keep reaping that. We got to know that we reap what we're sowing, and part of what we're sowing is what's coming out of our mouths, what's coming out of our energy, what's coming out of us. And we've got to start to take hold of that, so that we can start attracting healthy people. And healthy people have nothing to do with how much money you're making, how beautiful. Well, we want cute people. I ain't gonna lie. I need somebody I'm attracted to, at least.
Yeah.
But it's still, the gist of it is be healthy yourself.
Yep. Real rap. That's it.
That's
hey,
it.
Family. Thank y'all so much for joining us this week, man. We've been on here for over an hour and a half now, so 95 minutes. Y'all still have it up. So we appreciate y'all. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us.
Real quick before you end that, hold on. So look, if y'all have any questions that you want us to ask, or you have when you see us put up I think Michelle Monet, you see us put up what the next show is going to be about, and you have a comment that you want to have on the show, and you're not able to be here with us, but you would love to get that comment out because you think it was important for you to say, we have something that's real special for y'all to do with us. Okay. We want y'all to give us a call and leave us a voice message. And I'm trying to find our number. We text so much. We had a little meeting in our cell phone, and I'm sitting here like, well, where's the number? Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Know you from Chicago and you sounding all country.
I know, right? It's terrible. I say y'all more than I say y'all more now than I did before I got here.
Well, even if you grew up in Chicago, your people were probably from Alabama or Mississippi anyway.
I don't know. My dad is pretty proper and prim.
Look, I grew up in Chicago, but my grandmother is from Florence, Alabama, and my grandfather is from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Let me see if I can ask us. Let me search. I know I can search.
I did a survey. I don't care what y'all say. I'm in the South, and I know y'all like fish and grits, but it ain't better than spaghetti and fish. Catfish.
Man.
Catfish and spaghetti, man, y'all.
I tell you, some good stuff right there. So you can call us at 304-60 Ask Us. That's 304-60 Ask Us. If you have a question that you want to ask us, if you have comments about the show that you would like to share with us, we would love to know what you think. That stirs us up, make us feel like we're doing something, right?
Read it again.
If you have a question, if you have a comment, if you have ideas for the show, reach out to us at 304-60 Ask ASK Us.
60 Ask
us.
us. I said ask us.
Axis. Now, ASK us.
Oh, not AX. All right, got it. Yeah.
So y'all reach out to us. We want to hear what you're saying. We can if it's pertaining to a show, we can air what the question is and we can discuss that. We really want to be able to serve you all and not just have y'all, because some people's hands get tired, they don't want to type. Some people want to be anonymous and don't want to tell who they are. So they watch us after we air, and that's fine because we get a few hundred views on our shows even after we air. That's fine. So if you want to be anonymous and you got something to say, go ahead, call us. Don't be giving us dirty calls though. We will delete you quick. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead.
That's you can cut my flow. I don't even remember it now.
You know what you were saying.
Thank y'all for coming out. God bless and good night. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
Bye.